segment.
went out in the first round.
Well,
He didn't even play.
Yeah. It's the
Went out
most
in the
delicious
regular
segment in all of sports, where we see which teams have the recipe for success and which teams are just cooked. Bon appetit.
Did you write that, Wilds?
Yeah, you like that? Which teams are just cooked? But before we introduce
All right.
it,
Yeah.
we also have a pie for
Went
you,
a little
Brew.
too far.
Okay.
Now, the producers
It's got to be Mississippi Mud. I know it is.
it's got my
They
scripts on
want it to be a surprise.
Oh, apple pie. So, see, now
He
they
doesn't
make me
want that.
feel bad.
He doesn't want
Because
that.
I just spent the first segment of the show
I mean,
ripping
it's
apple pie.
It's an American classic, Brew.
He doesn't like fruit in the pie.
Okay. All right. Can we?
We
I'll
can't
eat
do
the
this.
crust, the crisp kind of. I'll eat
yeah,
that.
okay,
And then you
good.
can have the fruit. I'll leave the fruit for you.
I
Thank
feel
you.
like we just kind of just
Thank you.
bought pies for no reason.
then all
Yeah,
that, thank you.
I agree. There used to be a reason for it. Now.
Bon appetit, it's time
Okay,
for Title
thank
Pie.
you. All right,
Friday.
This is the most optimistic version of Title Pie this time of year.
Yes.
With the most
You gave a
teams
lot, yeah.
included.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it is still 10 teams that are 0%ers. We will reveal
Ouch.
them now. The only surprise on there might be the team whose logo you're like, wait, what team is that? That's the Clippers in the
God.
lower right-hand corner. Everyone else.
That's a little disrespectful.
Oh, Brew's back.
I know.
You're
I mean,
back.
Are they with the rest of these group?
They-
Look at the rest of the
Do
teams.
they have any chance of winning the championship?
They got I
Bro.
think a lot of teams on Title Pie have no chance. So I think they're as good as
Okay.
who's not.
Well,
see, the
we'll
bottom
get to Title
teams,
Pie.
I bet you
I'm
can put them there
very
with the bottom
curious
teams.
to see which teams you want to put your beloved Clippers, who you will never quit and can never quit, ahead of. All right, 0.5% Bruce Spurs. Just because of Wemby.
Sure.
0.5%. Give them a 1 in 200 chance.
Could happen.
Another 0.5%er. Wild Rockets.
I'll take it.
Because of Şengün plus Ime Udoka year 2.
Yep.
The Green,
Jalen Green.
Jabari Smith, if he finally kind of clicks in.
Red Bamboo.
You're right. So 0.5%. 1%er, light the beam. 1%. Listen,
Wilds is lukewarm.
it's 1%.
They shot a lot
They-
of threes.
That's good. So did the Celtics.
Yeah, so
No, I
did the
know, that's
Celtics
pretty
and the
good, that's
Mavs.
what I'm
1.5%. This is just as KD gonna have a resurgent old man year, where it's just like it's not him and Booker. Booker is clearly the 2. KD is the 1, and KD's like, God dog it. I'm not gonna go my whole 30s without a playoff run. I give 1.5%.
Sure.
2%. New Orleans Pelicans. I like the DeJounte Murray
I do too.
addition. We were seeing Zion come into his own and then he got hurt. I think they might be making a move from Brandon Ingram, fill out the rest of the team.
They need some shooting.
They need some shooting. You like Trey Murphy, and so there's a lot of, give them 2%. Another 2% team. The Heat. Jimmy Butler with something to prove, maybe? Does Jimmy Butler take Pat Riley's criticism to heart? Take the regular season more seriously? They have the best coach in the league.
Playing for a contract.
He's playing for a contract for Jimmy, 2%. One more 2%. Cleveland Cavaliers. Standing pat, brought back Donovan. Are they maybe going to move Garland? Are they going to move Allen and, fill out the rest of the team? Or are they just going to say, we like our 4 guys, see what it is? This is a consistent playoff team since they've gotten Donovan. Can they take the next step against 2%? 2.5%. Golden State. So the reason, as presently constituted, I would have them with the Clippers in the 0%, 1 star and then a bunch of, but because I think they have a smart front office and they might actually make another move, that I am keeping them on there. Because I think they are, of all the teams, most likely to have, whether it's marketing or something else substantial, still coming. 3%. Orlando Magic. It's about, is Paolo going to take a lead?
Wow.
This was a good team last year. This is a playoff team. They got some experience. I like the coach. I like Paolo. You guys know I like Franz. I was one of the first. All right, 3%.
I think you had Mo on
The
there.
loss, no, it was
I think it
Franz.
was
You
Mo.
thought it was Mo, is the Lakers. And then if we can reveal also the other 3% team, the Pacers. This is the point I'm trying to make here. This is the Lakers neighborhood now. You're with the Magic and the Pacers.
Yeah.
You're a good team. You know what I mean? And by the way, the Pacers did make the conference finals. I understand that was a little maybe fluky, but regardless, it's like
The in-season tournament.
in-season
teams.
tournament finalists, right? Like that is the company with which the Lakers keep at this point in time. And now to the teams that I think are legitimate contenders, the rest of them. 4% Memphis Grizzlies. And that's all about what is this going to be Ja reminding everyone that he was supposed to be on the trajectory we have now placed Anthony Edwards on. 5%, the Milwaukee Bucks.
Man.
A Giannis revenge year, maybe. Giannis, defending champion, then Middleton gets hurt, he plays great in the playoffs, they lose. The next year, Giannis falls on his back, they lose. The next year, Giannis hurts his Achilles or a calf, he doesn't even play. Long time Giannis revenge season. 7%, New York Knicks. The big question with them to me, Brew, is are they keeping Julius Randle? Or are they trading Julius Randle for maybe more help at center and other depth, because Julius Randle notably did not go to Villanova. Next, 8%, the Denver Nuggets. 8% on title pie.
Yeah.
That's a long way from no one's beating them in a 7-game series. But
well, that's also just an opinion. Well, I guess mine was proven wrong.
yeah, exactly. Yours was an incorrect opinion. That was laughably wrong. This is scientific pie charting teams with probability win the championship. 9%, Minnesota Timberwolves. My question is this: aside from Anthony Edwards, where is the growth coming on the team, right? Like, and you might say, oh, Jaden McDaniels or Naz Reid. I thought those guys played so well last year. I don't know how much better they're going to play. We know who Karl-Anthony Towns is. We know who Rudy Gobert is. Anthony Edwards is where their improvement's going to have to come, most notably if he can sustain a full postseason.
Dillingham?
All right. Oh, yeah, sure. 10%, Philadelphia 76ers. This is about health. I think we all love the fit. We love the roster as it's constituted. Daryl's very good at finding minimum guys that actually make a contribution. Are they going to stay healthy? 11%, the Dallas Mavericks. Excellent offseason. Not a lot to work with, but upgraded. I like Grimes. I like what Clay will do for them. I even like Najee Marshall. I think the defense took a bit of a step back in the loss of Derrick Jones, but I like what they added offensively. 12%, the Boston Celtics.
Come on now.
Well, here's the reason. And 13% Oklahoma City.
Wow.
So those were the top 2 seeds last year. The Celtics now are going to be without Kristaps for at least the beginning of the year, and we don't know. Meanwhile, Oklahoma City addressed their biggest weakness and made 2 solid additions, most notably Hartenstein. So for that reason, I install them as the biggest slice of title pie post-free agency. Brew, your thoughts?
Well, first of all, the Clippers should get a slice.
Okay,
maybe 1%, 0.5%, something like that. Don't disrespect me. You spent the first part of the show giving love to Kawhi, and then you just rip his heart out.
Well,
all right. I'm shocked, though, that you have OKC number 1. Wow. They had a great offseason. Too young, though.
I didn't even mention Caruso.
I think they're a year away from really having a great chance to win the whole championship. And it's because, like I said, they're youth. And first of all, Nick, they just made the playoffs for the first time in years last year. All right?
Yep.
Became the youngest team ever to win a playoff series. Got beat in the second round, obviously. But historically, we see teams that win championships. Either you had a hard climb, you've been in the playoffs year after year losing, and you finally get over the hump, or you make you get a star. Like Anthony Davis going to the Lakers. Something like that, and then you win the championship. They did neither. Now, they added some good role players. And then Hartenstein, who I like a lot, but he is a journeyman.
Yeah.
And this is his 6th team, and he played his best with Tibbs, which Tibbs can get the most out of role players. So hopefully he can play that well in OKC. I think he can, but that's still something iffy. I just think the youth. So I would move Minnesota. I'd have Boston with the biggest slice, and Minnesota the second biggest slice. Because obviously I think Anthony Edwards is going to take a jump. I think he's going to show maturity. I know he's been around, he's still relatively young, but he's been around 9-10 years. But he's still young. Remember, he came in after one and done, and his maturity is one of his biggest issues. I think he can get over that.
So what does that, what does that mean? Like not fouling all the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and being just a little bit of a smarter player. So I think Nas, he had a great year.
That's what I'm saying.
And
I don't know that he's going to be better.
I do. I think he's going to be a little bit better. And so with Jared. I think he's going to be a little bit better too. And then we'll see what the rookie can do, Dillingham. But I like Minnesota. They have, last 3 years, been in the hunt.
Yep.
First round out, conference finals out. I think this is a year they can make a jump.
If I may, just real quick on Hartenstein. I don't think so much that, I don't even know that Hartenstein is going to start. I know that sounds ridiculous because they gave him all that money, but they might run with that same starting five. With Giddey's going to be out.
Needed.
But but they can deploy him in playoff series and in matchups when they're getting killed on the boards, and he can take some of the burden off Chet. That's where I think it's going to be.
Quickly, they would, for OKC, if they won the championship, they'd be the youngest team ever to win the championship.
That's right.
And the league has gotten younger, and there's no teams that do that.
I'm going to take 2% off of the Sixers, slice 2% off, and give it to the Celtics. But that puts the Celtics at 14 in number 1. It drops the Sixers below the Wolves, considering I just saw the Wolves in the conference finals, and I've never seen Embiid there. So here's the reasons. Number 1, they literally just won. I don't know if we have parade footage, but I kind of just give respect to the champions. Number 2, bringing everybody back. All I kept on hearing about is second apron, second apron, second apron. I almost wrote it into Title Pie since it's like a cooking analogy. Steve Ballmer, who doesn't want to pay the any luxury tax.
Well,
Go ahead.
He's paying luxury tax, but he doesn't want to pay more.
Yeah, so we looked up to see how much Steve Ballmer is worth.
Yeah.
He just made more money somehow the other day.
Yeah, because Microsoft ticked up.
Yeah, so shout out to Steve Ballmer. Do you just take a wild guess? Do you know this?
How much he's worth?
Yes, take a wild guess.
$42 billion.
Okay. I think that's a fair guess. Brew, would you like to take a guess how much money Steve Ballmer has that he doesn't want to spend?
$91 billion.
91, also a fair guess. The correct answer, and there's differing reports, $158 billion.
No.
And there's another report that says 157. He's so rich, he could be $1 billion off. And both editors are like, sure, run with it. $158 billion. Meanwhile, the Celtics are like, he doesn't want to spend it. The Celtics are going all in and bringing their core back when other teams are losing pieces like that.
And selling the team maybe to the Saudi.
Put it on somebody else's tab.
But meanwhile, and then Wendy had a good point about Paul George. It was a really good take from Wendy. Wendy's a good reporter, and he drops in a little jab take. He's like, enough, why don't we slow down on the Paul George is the final piece of the puzzle that we saw with the Thunder and Russ, that we saw with the Clippers, and we're going to see with the Sixers. I was like, Wendy, that was a good take. I don't want to, dim Paul George's candles to make the Celtics brighter, but I think we slow down on Paul George a little bit. We've seen this before.
Can I real quick defend Paul George?
Sure.
With the Thunder, he did have the best year of his career, was third in MVP voting, and was not the problem. Like Russ was more the problem, unfortunately, than Paul George.
When they go out, first round.
Correct. He is, and now with the Sixers, he's not, I don't feel, being asked to be the second option. I think he's the third option.
He is.
So I think that I don't look at him as like a savior as much as a really good third option for Philadelphia. The point you're saying about Boston is totally fair. I was skeptical. You guys say I read too much into the internet doctors. The internet doctors told us Kristap's injury was a big deal. And now I'm concerned about when he's coming back.
Guy's acting like he's on a walking boot watch. That's me.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.